The community media category recognizes exceptional journalism, primarily in text form, produced at the community level. Entries in this category are limited to newspapers with an average daily print circulation of under 25,000 copies, or those that print fewer than 5 times a week. Entries are also welcomed from those online sources serving a local or community audience. There are 4 finalists in this category. The first finalist is Cullen Bird from the Fort McMurray Today, who submitted a 2-part series titled Pipe Dreams. No, not the pipes bringing bitumen from the areas surrounding the northern Alberta city to market, but rather municipal water and sewer to towns and villages. The promise to extend these services to 6 of the municipality of Wood Buffalo's southern settlement areas is one that dates back to the amalgamation and formation of the area in the 1990s. Bird looks at where that promise sat in 2017, as one of the richest municipalities in Canada struggled to bring those services to 2,700 residents, still relying on wells, water trucks, septic beds, and outhouses. Our second finalist is Michael Robinson of the Telegraph-Journal in St. John, with his entry titled New Brunswick's Sidelined Ambulances. It's a situation that can only add to your worst nightmare. You've called 911 for an ambulance and it just doesn't arrive. This scenario lies at the heart of Robinson's entry, which looked into a glaring lack of accountability for when there aren't enough staff members to put into the province's ambulances. The shortages the TJ found, after having to fight to get the data, showed that Ambulance New Brunswick had been forced to sideline its ambulances 14,000 times since 2014. The third finalists are Jackie Jardine, Steve Goodwin, and Heather Brimacombe of The Advocate in Pictou County, Nova Scotia, with their series on the 25th anniversary of a devastating explosion at the Westray Mine in Plymouth. 26 miners died on May 9th, 1992, and the Advocate team threw its resources at pulling together a package of articles and photos to remember the tragedy and the impact it had on those living and working in Pictou County. From speaking with survivors to first responders and others in their community about Westray, the team's package strikes a number of appropriate notes, including the decision to lead off the spread by publishing the 26 names of the miners who died. The fourth finalists are Travis Lupick and Alexandra Kim, who submitted a series titled Rising Violence in Vancouver Hospitals, which was published in the Georgia Straight and broadcast on the Cited podcast. We'll let Travis explain what it's about.
Section 28 comes from the BC Mental Health Act. It's a provision of the Act used by a police force. In my case, I was looking at the Vancouver Police Department's use of Section 28. It's used to take a person into custody when they're deemed a threat to themselves or others as a result of a mental health emergency. The Vancouver Police Department's use of the BC Mental Health Act, and specifically Section 28, had risen steadily since 2010, from 2,276 instances that year to more than 3,050 instances in 2015.